Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. We are the AC Consultant. And before we start our presentation today, we would like to ask a question. Do you remember your first Apple product? I do. Mine was an iPhone 5. And to be honest, it has been the best iPhone experience I've had till this day. But some people say that Apple's lost its touch or Apple's not that good anymore. Today, we're here to find out why and how to make it better. First of all, we would like to do an impulse analysis on Apple. Some political factors can be China-US trade war, stable politics in developing nation. Some economic factors can be like looking for expansion, creating more profit-making products. Some social factors can be looking for cheap labor in developing nations, symbol for status. And some technological factors can be mostly focusing on hardware and design and strong security. Some problems we could identify was first of all, less innovation, less market penetration, and dissatisfied customers. So what should Apple focus on? We mainly came up with three conditions: market dominance, innovation, and brand value. And to increase these, we came up with three solutions, three strategies: cloud computing, cybersecurity, and reducing manufacturing and ad costs.
In my beginning is my future. In order for Apple to have a brighter future, they have to go to their past and see what their competitors are doing correctly. The best example is of Microsoft. It does not have a line of products, had a failed smartphone strategy by buying Nokia, had less brand value as compared to Amazon and Apple. Also, it has cheaper products in line, which does not have a very high brand value at the same time. Yet, Microsoft, in October 2019, ends up being the most valuable company in the world. How? We have to see that reason too. It's because of their switch from hardware to software and acquisition of companies like LinkedIn, GitHub, and Office 365. Therefore, we have Apple to focus on cloud computing. Cloud computing is the future. It was less than $6 billion market less than a decade ago now. It is almost having $141 billion market now. The global cloud computing market size is expected to grow from 270 billion to 623 billion by 2023. And therefore, it is a very great opportunity for Apple to expand here. How they would be expanding is through a new product that they would be introducing, which is called iStack. iStack would be a B2B business model where they would have full stack services from documents to files to emails and Apple services at the same time. It is going to reduce the paperwork in companies and also provide new business opportunities. Since we know that pandemic is going on, therefore Apple should invest into technologies in which there is less of human involvement. And how we would be having the revenue model is by targeting startups. We have seen that every year 10 million startups are founded and they require all these full stack services. And by targeting businesses and companies. And therefore we will be having an yearly plan of 10 USD per person. Next is iGaming. The global market of gaming was valued at 151 billion in 2019 and is expected to reach 256 by 2025. And given the fact that there has been pandemic, a lot of countries had increase in their time, in utilizing their time rather in gaming. And why? Why should we focus on iGaming, which would be an iCloud based game, and that is going to disrupt an industry of Xbox and PlayStations. So people are actually required to buy DVDs of games even now, and they have to buy machine of Xbox and PlayStations. And the market is very huge, but very less competitors. Therefore, iGaming would be a very great strategy for Apple. Next is how they would be doing that. So Apple already has an iCloud company with them, and they would be investing their time into software development. Second is partnership with gaming companies so that they list into the iGaming and literally game consoles. So what would be the impacts here? That there will be customer satisfaction. A customer does not have to buy DVDs and machines, and there would be disruption of Xbox and PlayStation, like I had already said. And there would be a lot of revenue increase by 2023.
Our second strategy is through cybersecurity. Do you remember the incident that happened in 2016 where FBI wanted Apple to open an iPhone, but they denied to do so because it would have risked everyone else's security as well? Well, this is one of the reasons why we think cybersecurity is a great thing Apple can use. Apple products are secure. That's why a lot of politicians, CEOs, powerful people tend to use Apple for their personal use. And if you see these stats, you can see that there are a lot of identity thefts, online fraud, and other consumer complaints happening online in 2019 a lot. If you see here, the total number of online problems that happened were about 3,024,749 cases. And in that, 52% was fraud complaints. Well, some insight in this matter. According to Kasperly, an online security firm, it says that the total amount of cyber attacks that happened from 2019 was about approximately 24 million. This is estimated to be about $10 billion worth of damage only in 2019. And the cybersecurity market is about $129 billion. And the fact that there's about 52% of the online cyber attacks happen to financial sectors like banks and investment firms, I think we could take a B2B stand. We could take a B2B approach to this problem, where we supply our Apple high-grade security to other businesses. To do so, first we have to have a creation of security team by the end of 2020. Then we need to set up business for developing team. We need to set up a developing team for clients. Next, we need to take our initial focus on the financial sector because, as we saw, that was the most attacked sector out of all the others. And lastly, we need to implement these ideas in many other countries like US, India, UK, Singapore, and many other countries because these countries tend to be attacked more than others. Our revenue would be approximately about $4 billion. By the end of 2023. This is taken through the market share, and this would be approximately 3% market share. And we think through this, there's going to be innovation and new opportunities Apple can use as well.
So, moving towards our third strategy, in order to keep the investors happy, we need to either increase the market share or reduce the existing cost. So, we choose to reduce the existing costs and create opportunities from it through mainly two mediums, that are advertisements and manufacturing. So why should we be focusing on reducing advertising costs? Our reason is based upon the fact that advertising expense of Apple rose to a whopping $1.8 billion in 2015. Moreover, advertisement funds are not optimally utilized and not targeted through appropriate modes. We believe that optimization of advertisement will reduce the advertisement costs and help us to widen the reach, and moreover increase savings which can be used for further developments such as in R&D. So the question is where to begin from. So according to us, two strategic locations based upon their potential market growth, India and China, should be the areas where we should be focusing. And currently in India, the YouTube is the platform where Apple is advertising heavily, and it is costing it around $120 million. And in order to reignite its foreign growth and to compete with the deeply rooted local competitors, Apple has to align with the local needs. For that, we provide an alternative called Jio Platform that comes under the leading Indian telecommunications company, and which will result in saving 98 million per year. And whereas in China, the current mode of advertising is mainly through WeChat and Youku, which is costing Apple around $0.18 to $0.35 per view. So as an alternative, Baidu, we are suggesting that it should be adopted for advertisement, which has a reach of about 1.1 billion subscribers, and we will be saving around $75 million per year.
So the continuing strategy will be reducing the manufacturing cost. Why should we reduce the manufacturing costs? It's because of the US-China trade war, which resulted in the reduction of profit margin by 29%. Also, there is high labor cost available in China. we suggest a solution of establishing a production unit in India, as there's already a company named as Wistron since 2017, which is a collaborating manufacturer for Apple, and it produces products for Apple. Also, there is cheap labor force available in India, and the support provided by the Indian government to the new manufacturers, and the ease of doing business in India is increasing day by day. So the question arises is how we can implement it. First is through collaborating with Wistron. As Wistron is in the Indian market since 2017, so it will have better understanding of consumer products. Also, the contract manufacturer of Apple products such as iPhone 6, 7, and 10. Also, the move out will save up to 20% of the import taxes of Apple. Second is by hiring cheap labor force. India has cheap labor force than China, which will result in reduction in overall cost by 35%. High unemployment rate in India will lead up to 23.5%, and it will make people work for even less wages. So here are the financials. We took the data for around 3 years as 2021, 2022, and 2023. So the total revenue earned till 2023 will be up to $6.377 billion. So here's the breakdown of revenues by 2023 from new strategies. We can see that every year the revenue earned by the strategies is increasing. So the strategies will be profitable to the company. So we can say that if the company is using our strategies, they can be more profitable.
So proceeding towards our framed timeline, in 2020, we will be mainly focusing towards development in technology. By 2021, we will be launching cloud computing and cybersecurity along with our other strategic measures. By 2022, we will be expecting the effects of advertisement and cost cuttings that will be visible in the account books. And by 2023, we are expecting overwhelming revenues. So, in a nutshell, the carefully devised innovation and technological development could result in revenue increase, new market opportunities in cloud computing and cybersecurity, and also in reduced manufacturing and advertisement costs.
Next comes risks and mitigation. When you have competitors that can copy your technology, it is very important to have mitigations. Therefore, you need to have a loyal customer base so that people can use only your technology only. Second is the R&D and the software could take up more than 1 year. So to solve that, we can have the IT outsourced from the Indian firms. Next is the executive summary. We have to make sure that Apple has a large market and new opportunities. To follow these many issues, we are having 3 strategies of cloud computing, cybersecurity, and reducing the costs. And we will be having an impact of less production costs by 20 to 25%, and approximate increase in revenue by $7 billion, and also expansion in Indian and subcontinent. Thank you for listening.